All right, quick update on the markets. We've had an interesting day today in that buyers have gone ahead and pushed it. Let me stay on the 4 hourly first. Buyers have gone ahead and pushed this even further. I have a green market this time. I changed it from red. I thought red was a bit too much. Just a bit too much. All right, so buyers continued to push up, and Germany has reached the area that I thought buyers are headed towards. I believe Wall Street. Yep, Wall Street has as well. Wall Street just continues to fly up. FTSE has gone ahead and reached this area, but I'm seeing that other markets have around about here-ish have reached this area. So I think FTSE has some ways to go still, but before it continues upwards, I'm anticipating we'll have a push down. Now, how deep will this push down be? I don't think it'll be very deep. In any case, I don't expect it coming lower than here. Definitely not lower than this guy who started all of this move. And this right here is still all one move upwards. And because it's quite large, I'm anticipating another move upwards. At least one more after a pullback. Now let's go down to a lower time frame to see where the pullback could end up. So if this comes down, so the obvious place will be run about here. Prices to come down here, maybe even spike just below it and then continue upwards. The deeper this comes down, the more we can say, okay, this move has completed. Oops, something just fell over. This move has completed, upwards move, and we're having a pullback, and we're going to have another move upwards to go ahead and meet this level. This guy, no, let me see if I can draw that better. This guy who started the downwards move, all of this, is going to make another move downwards. But those sellers there will be looking for the best price to sell. And the obvious place for them to sell is for them to let prices go up, come up to them in order for them to sell. Potentially even go up past them. Now, it all depends on how this, whether or not they sell, all depends on, whether or not they sell hard, as in attempts to make this low again, depends on how strongly these buyers come up. So once we have a pullback and the buyers start to come up, if they come up in a very, let's say they do that, if they come up in a strong manner, then these guys are less likely to sell. If they come up in a weak-ish manner, let's say they start to struggle at this point, it becomes less likely that buyers are going to beat this level. In other words, right now, even though buyers have beaten this level, it's still in seller's territory. They're still in seller's territory, buyers. So the more they come up here, if they don't do so with conviction, they're very likely to go ahead and take profits, knowing that sellers are here and are likely to hit it downwards again. Let's go to the hourly time frame. See, now as this comes down, I can anticipate this going up in a slower manner. So instead of going down and just going up, I think we're more likely to see this start to fade out as it goes up. I think we're more likely to see something like this as it fades upwards. And if that happens, then we can reassess and say, okay, sellers are very likely to push markets downwards again. Let me see if I can draw that better. This guy is likely to hit it again to try to meet this level. And I think prices will definitely come down to this level. And remember, over the weekend, in my weekend analysis, when we looked at the weekly, I think it was the 7200 that I said was an area where buyers haven't been able to go past in a while, and most likely won't be able to go past. I think that is still true. I think that is still true, even though they've come up very strongly with this first leg. They're likely to slow down. But again, we'll need the pullback to happen in order to determine that. Let me see if this is clearer in other markets. See, now other markets has gone further. Germany has gone further. So I think when Germany comes down, it's likely to use this SNR as a launching pad to continue upwards. Let's have a look at Wall Street. Oh, this is interesting. Wall Street's guy is up here. Strong sellers up here. These guys, that's why they've reached this guy quite early, because the real sellers are up here. Is it the same thing on Germany? Now this is this is very interesting, because here you have sellers in several places. You have sellers here, 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 and here. They sort of like just rolled over at this area, right? They sort of like, prices just sort of like dipped downwards, with these points being an area where sellers could launch from again. Oops, that's my other phone. Prices are already here, so this guy hasn't got the power to launch it down, unless this is his attempt right now to try to push it down. But so far it's going slowly. So we have to see what happens with this guy, and this guy. Sellers are everywhere here. This is again another reason why buyers are hesitantly taking their profits. Right now, it could be, this move down could be buyers taking their profits. in order to buy some more, or it could be them taking their profit because they don't like this area ish, because they know sellers are there and can at any moment push prices down. Yeah, right now I think I'll just have to wait and see how sellers respond. The most likely thing to happen is sellers push prices down, but prices bounce off of an SNR either here or potentially here. They could just hang about here and then continue upwards. It's a bit too early. I think I need more. I need more data in order to tell what's most likely to happen. On FTSE, FTSE is also interesting. Look at all of this. It's like prices just dwindled and then dropped. It's similar to Germany, right? Which means besides this guy, although you have sellers here, 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 the real big seller is sitting up here. And he's looking at prices saying, okay, let buyers come up to me so that I can sell again. But potentially he could decide to sell at any one of these areas. And I think this is where news announcement can and will feel things from odds areas, because the most logical place for sellers to react from right now is from here. But if there is no news announcement, then prices can just continue to either hover, go down, or go up in a smooth manner until a news announcement is released, which then fuels things. And normally news announcements make prices go in the direction that they're going in quicker. Right now the direction is upwards buy. When we get to here, it might be a different story. When prices get to here, the 7200 might be a different story. If they blast past this area, then they're headed towards the 7500 level. If they go up in a smooth-ish manner, then it could be a case of any one of these sellers hitting it. Any one of these sellers can hit it and push prices downwards. And at that point, I think when they hit it, it's going to be, we're not going to see a steady move downwards like this. It's going to be one shot, similar to what they've done previously with this one shot. And ultimately, what really, I don't want to look at the daily just yet. I want some more data to go ahead and look at the daily before I look at the daily, because buyers have made their first leg up. We can say, okay, we can say for certain this rollover that we were anticipating has now happened, right? It's clear to see now. Sellers faded and buyers have come in, and they've come in strongly. If sellers are to come in at this point and move prices downwards, they're unlikely to meet this level again at this point, from this point I should say. When prices get up to here, these levels, it'll be a different thing. But before prices get up to there, for prices to get up to there, they need more buyers. And buyers, what do buyers need? Sellers, which is why we're seeing this move downwards. So, be interesting to see what happens in the next few days. My anticipate my anticipate if I can speak, my anticipation is that we're going to continue to go upwards. I think prices will hit this level either in a continued move upwards, so this move is just a rest, or prices will retrace slightly and then continue for another leg. And once this secondary leg starts, we can then assess where the leg is likely to happen, depending on how strong the leg is, I should say. If it's stronger than this leg, then we can expect another leg upwards, and on until the legs weaken, similar to what we had here, where the legs weakened before buyers came in. Let me draw that better. The legs weakened before buyers came in, and this is the turning point. If I had moving averages on, this is where moving averages really come into effect. But although it lags big time, but in the moving averages you'll see this sort of curve, which is what MA specialists focus on. When they get this bend and lines cross, then they say, okay, we're moving in the opposite direction now is the time to do the opposite thing. But if you had an MA on this, it will lag behind in a big way. Whereas reading the markets bare bones, you get to see things before they happen. So this move right here is very, very interesting, and one worth analyzing over and over and over again. Whether it's a buy or a sell, this sort of move is what the big boys aim to do. And if you can spot it, if you can spot it just before it happens, you can tell what they're doing before they do it. So being able to spot this is good analysis. Oh look, prices are continuing to go up, it seems. Okay, so prices for FTSE might actually get up to the equivalent of this level, which is the 7,500 level, right? Yeah, I think tomorrow we're going to see a continuation upwards. All of these sellers, although they are here, technically they are here, they're not very strong. This is the last. Let me do this better. This guy right here is the last strong seller, not this guy, not this guy, not this guy. So if prices are coming up, continuing to come up strongly and beat this guy, the next strong sellers are up here. The 7,500 level. And I think buyers will have a tough time taking this guy out, because he's the one that made all of this happen, all the way down to the 6,800 before buyers reacted. All right, I'm going to leave the analysis here. Takeaway is we're going to see more of the same at least until the 7200 level. Prices are very likely to get up to the 7500 level, and all of this will take some time. So this week, or for the rest of the week, I don't see things changing. If we have a pullback, it's going to be a pullback for buyers to continue upwards. But again, all depends on how strong the pullback is. All right, I'll leave it there for now. Bye for now.